The wildlife in Lamar Valley seemed to have an impact on the Hayden expedition. On one hand, the journal entries still refer to the viability of mining the area. But on the other hand, they wrote about the abundance of elk and deer and more frequent run-ins with Yellowstone's alpha predator, the grizzly bear. Over 700 live within the park's borders today. It's a healthy population, and it takes 22,000 pounds of meat each day to keep them all fed. These elk aren't volunteering for the job, but this hungry bear doesn't care. The herd has the advantage of speed, and the bear can't keep up his chase for very long. But in the chaos, a calf gets separated from the herd. The calf opts to hide. And the grizzly searches. If she moves, she'll be an easy meal for the grizzly. She wins this round of hide and seek. Mom calls out to find her offspring. This is life in the Lamar Valley. Hayden and his men weren't here for wildlife watching, so they had to move on, pushing further into the unknown. Sometimes I think about the spirit of the great explorers, you know, what it takes to be the first to do something, to journey into the unknown. I mean, these guys had a job to do, and that was to keep going. But as they headed south, they started to hear a roar in the distance. Imagine making your camp right here, having no idea what would be waiting for you come sunrise. You know, when you follow a river for long enough, you're bound to run into a waterfall. The one that the Hayden party found on their way was a monster. At 308 feet tall, over 60,000 gallons of water fall over its lower falls every second. The sheer sight and sound of the cascading water was almost too perfect for the lead geologist to put into words. Standing there, I thought how utterly impossible it would be to describe to another the sensations inspired by such a presence. A grander scene was never witnessed by mortal eyes. Now, how in the hell are we going to get down that? The morning of July 27th, Albert Peel wrote in his journal, "This morning, Elliot and I started for the falls with the intention of descending to the bottom of the canyon. A thing which all hunters and trappers say cannot be done. The men were given a warning, but they did not heed it. They didn't have fancy climbing gear, no harnesses, no carabiners, just ropes made of elk hide that were known for snapping when they got wet. That and the insatiable desire to explore. So they tied the ropes around their shoulders, crossed their fingers, and made the 308-foot descent in just over 2 hours. When they finally reached the canyon below, Peel wrote, all was silent except the roaring of the water as its waves dashed upon the rock at our feet. Far above us, the trees along the edge seemed like a line of grass. They had arrived in the canyon. And what a magnificent canyon it is. Carved by the river for the last 160,000 years, the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone is a work in progress. Today, it's 24 miles long, 1,200 feet in depth, and 4,000 feet wide. Tomorrow, it'll be a little bigger. Every day, it gets deeper and wider as hydrothermal activity weakens the rock that lines it. That rock is rich in iron deposits, which oxidize over time, giving the canyon the stunning yellow colors that swirl inside its walls. The Minatari tribe named the river Miseadazi, which means Yellow Rock River. When trappers and fur traders came, they interpreted that as Yellowstone. Renowned American painter Thomas Moran was part of the Hayden expedition. His job was to capture the sights they witnessed. when Hayden sent Moran's renderings of the falls and the canyon back east to Congress. They were speechless. These golden canyon walls give the park her name, and that painting hung in the U.S. Capitol for 80 years.